Yo, this game is crazy, crazy good, you guys.
Oh,
This
babe.
game is so sick, man.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, like I was having issues kind of like figuring out ways to like describe it. There's this article I read that kind of like put it in the sense of like whenever you think about like an amazing game you played when you were younger, and then like you think of that feeling of that game, and then eventually you go back and play it and you're like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was, right? But this is like you go back to play that game you played as a kid and it's just the best thing ever. It's like they're able to capture the perfect essence of this time period and how these games feel, but not be like beholden to any of the technical limitations of that time. So it feels modern. There's a lot of like really cool modern choices, like being able to move the camera 3D around the area is just like really cool, because in those old games you wouldn't be able to. You could be stuck
pre-rendered backgrounds back in those
this
days.
kind of looks like it has pre-rendered backgrounds, but
it's not. No. So that simple fact of the way you can move the camera around is just really, it makes it feel like a new thing, even though it's not. But the other thing I think is actually really like a big plus to it is it's not necessarily too difficult. It's not really like, it has like really fun puzzles in it that are hard, but it doesn't ever feel unnecessarily hard like older games in this kind of genre can feel. It's very like, it's easy to play. It knows what it is, and it's just kind of like, if you know what these games are, you're gonna have a good time. But if you're new to it, you can come into it and have just as good of a time, because it's not necessarily going to be like, oh, well, this is how it used to be type of thing. There's also an exploration mode where you can just play without any bad guys and stuff, which is cool. But yeah, it's definitely a game that's worth checking out 100%, even if you're not a fan of horror games. It's just really a fun time. It's like 6 hours.
Tell me about the combat. Like, are you aiming?
So what's really cool is the combat with the gun. You're aiming, so you can aim for limbs and stuff.
Okay.
You unlock a bunch of different guns and things throughout. If you do secret puzzles, you unlock more guns. If you don't do secret puzzles, you just have the pistol, which is fine. You're not going to be screwed over because you don't have a certain gun, so it's really just designed around the player kind of pushing what experience that they want to have, which I think is really cool. It's what I also think is a big thing for the game too, is the story is really good. It's a really modern story, and is very, very something that's very prominent in kind of the ether right now for the world. And I feel like a lot of these old survival horror games kind of like touch on those kind of things, but they never outright say it. There's like, oh, it's Wesker, he's this evil billionaire guy, ooh, he's so kooky, right? This just kind of like tells it like it is and has a very, very good story because of that. It's very straightforward, but also like, yeah, I think it's super good. 100%. I love it. If you think it looks cool, you're like, hey, I want to play this game, play it. You're going to love it. Like, that's just kind of it. But I think the story is the most important thing this game has. It's a crazy good. Like, and it tells it through these like fun little newspaper clippings and everything. And even if you miss some of them, the game pulls it together at the end and kind of explains certain things to you. And does a really amazing job of kind of just pulling everything together and just sticks it. It's great. It's awesome. I can't praise it more, because it's just like, it's really good.
Excellent.
Definitely my favorite game of the year so far.
Wow.
So
all right,
that's just kind of where that one sits. But yeah, I beat it in one night. I just kind of
wow, cool.
I mean, it's only
was it one of those things where it was
hours?
like, I just want to finish it, or was it like I can't put it down, or like what was it?
It was a lot of that. It's like I feel like if I go to sleep, I'm gonna forget these puzzles, because you're juggling a lot of puzzles at once in these types of games. You're going back and forth, using this to unlock this, to use on this, to go use on that, to go over here, and you're just juggling so much. And I was like, I don't want to forget this, but I also I just want to see what happens. I just want to see what area opens up. And I didn't even explain the story. So essentially, there's an amusement park that got shut down for whatever reason, and you're an investigative journalist going to this abandoned amusement park. Things happen, spooky stuff, and you're kind of going into you're going into an amusement park. And you're basically navigating it through employee tunnels and these fun little back rooms and all these cool things. So you get to see the park as the customer sees it, and then you get to go in the background and see how the workers would see it and make things go and move around. So it's really cute. It's really fun and cute, and it's also scary. But it's just a really amazingly put together and designed video game. So